Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of Talk Tua. Chibi, come here. Just kidding, guys. Welcome to episode 6 of the Dead Flat podcast. I am your host, Felix. I'm joined by Chibi, my co-host. He's off being a little dick. I keep playing with him for hours and hours and hours, and he just never tires. I don't understand it. Chibs, your energy is endless, isn't it? Now he's just staring at me. He'll come by and meow, try to bite my arms and stuff, and I'll go wave my wand around, I've tied a little miniature Tito's vodka thing that was a gift. But it says Toto's Podka on it. You can find it on Amazon. I just tied that to the end of one of them fishing rods that you wave around for cats, and that's his favorite thing to chase. I wish I could show it here somehow, but there's not a lot of room behind me. I could have done it with my old desk, probably, which there should be some perspectives of that on the Dead Flat channel, my personal channel, I guess. I've just recorded a few gaming streams on there, like I've done once here, one gaming podcast here. But there I did some streams playing Valheim and just one playing Minecraft. I attempted a speed run. I did say I was going to do more of that, though I haven't felt the want to do that any recently at all. All I've been really doing is binging some shows while I've been at work, or not while I've been working, but outside of work and my school stuff. I've just been, I've watched Game of Thrones. I did watch that for the first time just a few months ago. Now I'm watching it for the second time, and I'm almost done. And something I have to say is the dragons look fat to me. I know I googled this because I was curious to see if others had the same opinions, and I found some Reddit threads that said that they were they just thought they had, thick chests to store their fire. But the first time I saw them fully grown in the show and flying, I just thought, what the fuck is that? Why do they have a belly? Like I thought that I need to find a picture of this because I could swear that to me they just look like they had a huge belly. And I was curious if anyone else agreed. So far it seemed like a no, but I mean, look at this here. See, that's probably the best example right there. I mean, let me see. Can I find any others? No, I think that's the best one I can show at the moment. I thought the design just looked weird, so let me see if I can show this here. That's not it. Here. This dragon here. I mean, it looks fat. Now this is the other picture, but you can see, like, and there it looks like its chest. But from certain perspectives, it certainly, to me, just looks fat. Now this looks cool as shit. This makes sense. In this picture, it looks fat. It's got a belly. And I saw it here, too. Look at that. It looks a little too swollen for me. It looks like a big belly. Although I suppose the belly would be more like this area, and this would be the chest. But mm, I don't know. I don't know if any of you and if anyone agrees with me, let me know because that was something that kind of put me off when I first noticed it when the Night King kills the first dragon to turn him. When Daenerys flies in with her three dragons into the north to save everyone when they're capturing a dead walker. Uh, and she flies in, and the Night King kills one. To me, I saw it hit the belly, and I saw the rest of them flying. And I'm like, why the fuck are they so fat? I was like, I thought the fire the ice lance that made the fire explode out of the dragon. I thought maybe that made him bloat, and that's why like it made him, you know, it kind of blew the fire up inside of him, and I thought that's why the dragon looks so fat. But then I saw the other two flying away, or in a different scene later on maybe, and they looked like that, and I was like, what? They look fat. So I don't know. This is the scene where they're getting shot too. But even Drogon right there looks fat to me. So I'm gonna stop. I'm saying fat so many times now. What is this? The word's losing meaning a little bit. This is AI, I think, because she didn't have a white dragon. Anyways, so yeah, that's. I don't know. And I did like the show, but I do not like how it ended, like most people. Uh, I think, in fact, well, the first time I watched it, I kind of slept through the last two seasons for the most part because as I'm on season 7 now, and I'm certainly catching things that I missed the first time. But I guess, that's common with any show, at least for me. Any show I watch, really, I'll catch things I missed the first time because I either dozed off or something. Um, Two shows that I've kind of whoops. One show I've fallen in love with recently is The Fallen Kingdom. Um, at least earlier seasons for sure. A lot of shows fall off toward the end. Um, uh, yeah, quite a lot of them do. I know a lot of my favorite shows were certainly not as good at the end. Um, Vikings included. Vikings. I saw Vikings before I saw The Last Kingdom. So I loved it the first time. Then I watched The Last Kingdom. Then I came back to Vikings again, and I thought it was a little corny, to be honest, because a lot of the shit, um, they kind of just. I noticed that they kind of force just. Uh, I don't have the word. They kind of force the plot forward with dialogue. Just they 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 also use dialogue to say what you're supposed to think almost. Um, an example of that, what is that? I don't know. An example I can pull of that, um, that I can think of, is when Rollo betrayed Ragnar the first time, fought with no, sorry, and he fought with Jarl Borg, while Ragnar fought with King Horik. Um, and then they, take him prisoner for being a traitor and whatnot. Then they have the sentencing for him, I guess, where the lawgiver passes a judgment from the sacred stone. Um, he was, of course, bribed by Ragnar to spare him, but the he kind of just narrates what he kind of he I'm trying to remember a little bit, remember exactly what he said. He's like, I'm not gonna sentence him to death because if the gods wanted him to die, he would have died in the battlefield. But instead, he submitted to his brother, since submitted to his judgment, rather than continuing the betrayal, as so to speak. And he says he behaved in a unique and interesting way. He acted in an interesting and unexpected way, is what he said. And I'm like, you know, just literally those words. He says he acted in an interesting and unexpected way, and that's why the gods should spare him. To me, they're kind of forcing that a little bit, if you ask me. There's another scene that came up because I watched that again recently as well because I wanted to see how much it held up to my scrutiny the third time. It was my third time watching it, and I couldn't really continue after season. Let me just look where I stopped. I stopped on season 6, which is the last, but there are a lot of episodes in there. But anyways, they sort of just explain, they tell you what they want you to think as you're watching it. You know? That was the feeling I got from the show quite a bit, and I was like, the writing was a little lazy with the dialogue. And also the historical inaccuracy, they also shoved the woke message down your throat a little bit, especially toward the end. They got woke a little bit anyway. I know that they were definitely trying to keep it mostly historically accurate, but they still, you can sense some activism within their production still, even from the beginning. There's some aspect of that, and that's, you could say that's basically shown through Lagertha, but it's not her so much that I have a problem with. It's her kind of interacting with other shield maidens and how you can see it when they're talking to each other, but when they're around men, it doesn't work so well, or that doesn't come up as much, I guess. Anyways, The Last Kingdom, though, I loved that show, but again, falls off a little bit toward the end. And for me, that's only because it becomes a little repetitive toward the end. Although, because of how tragic Uhtred's whole story is, I'm still pretty much engaged the whole time, because his story personally in that show is quite good, I think. So I mean, I also get heartbroken towards the end because he loses so much that once I get to the last season when he's losing more still, I'm like, fuck, you guys make better decisions. Like, serve yourself a little bit for once. You don't have to give yourself completely for all these people who don't do anything for you. It was how selfless he was that kind of made me feel like, damn, you deserve to be at least a little selfish for once, fucker. Do it, because you're making me sad, you know? Anyway, that's how I felt watching The Last Kingdom both times, and I knew it was coming the second time, so I was, kind of prepared for it, but I got kind of angry instead. Like, why didn't you guys I'm not going to spoil that one, because it's toward the end of that show. It's not an early thing that I'd be spoiling, so. He just loses another person, but they could have had time together and chose not to be selfless, basically. And they'd already done that so much that I didn't feel that they and it went and it goes toward nothing, by the way. Like it eventually, when that person is lost, the sacrifice they made didn't even matter, really. So, it feels a little stupid in that way. Yeah, like it felt I as I'm watching it, I felt like the characters just made stupid choices. Um, and you can't be too mad at them because they make the choices for the sake of the people at their own cost, basically, and that's their sacrifice. But when they've sacrificed so much, you kind of wish they would take some for themselves, at least, to give themselves some peace and happiness. But they don't, and then their sacrifice didn't even matter. There's nothing in that. Try another one. I feel the heat, but there's still nothing. What the fuck? That one had some. I do wonder if I applied some heat around them, if it would all melt to the bottom and then I'd be able to use it. I'd have to put it in the sun or something. I have a torch, but anyways, I was thinking I might play some games today again. I don't really want to do that, but I'm at somewhat of, what the fuck? That's where it is. Okay. I'm at a bit of a loss of ideas at the moment. Um, I I thought everything I just talked about might take a little longer, but it didn't. Uh, hmm. It is currently snow season here, and I haven't been able to go up snowboarding yet. Um, I've talked about that with Ryan before, if you guys will recall. Uh, Might have been Ryan or Alexis. I don't know. I don't even know if I have talked about it here. Snowboarding, though, is a big passion of mine. It's my favorite sport. My snowboard's hanging on the wall right over there. It's my, and yeah, my only snowboard. Unfortunately, I really want another one. Can't afford one yet. Mm. And I know exactly which one I want. Just, just can't do it. Hopefully soon, at some point. Maybe I can. But as of right now, I'm using the same board I've been using for 8 years. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just fine. It's getting a little old, perhaps, but overall still works like a dream. And it's just not exactly my style. It's a little hard. I'd like a little more flex. Um, I'd like to own a board with more flex. Um, because I've tried it before and I've liked it. I loved it for certain days, I guess, certain moods I'm in, but that when I have this, I can't do some of the park stuff that I'd like to try. Um, Definitely not as well. I can maybe, I can still do some butter tricks with this one, but it really doesn't bend that well. So they're a little tough. I did also get that new tattoo I was talking about with Ryan on the last podcast. I didn't get the whole thing though. We only had time for half. Apparently, my skin is tough to work with. I bleed easily, and the ink doesn't set in well either. It takes a lot. So he had to sit there really, scratching the shit out of my shoulder here to get the ink in there. That was last Friday. Today's Wednesday, so it is mostly healed. You get to see that's part of it. I'll show off the rest on the coming podcast on Saturday or Sunday for you guys. Saturday for me. I will show it there, so you, because I mean I'm very happy with how it looks so far. We just got the moose and the anchor. The birds on my back are what's missing. That's what we're gonna finish up tomorrow. I will be posting this right before I go in, pretty much. So, wish me luck. And I'm hoping it won't take as long because the bird portion should be smaller. I think. Let me see. I can just look at the picture again, but it shouldn't take as long. It should be less to tattoo, but I'm not sure. So there is a lot less. There's a lot less detail. The moose is a big, chunk of detailed ink, whilst the birds and the rest is just birds and chains. So you can see it'll be more chains like that. And those aren't what took so long. It was the big moose on my shoulder that took forever. So hopefully it won't take as long, but I know it's going to hurt like a bitch because he has to scratch the shit out of my skin to get the ink in there. And that's another reason it took so long. We thought we were going to get the whole thing done on Friday, but it only got half, so. I don't know why he asked me to come in at 3 if he said 4 to 6 hours and they close at 8. He asked me to leave at 6. No, that might have taken 4 hours, actually, because we started at 3. I think I might have left. No. No, it took a little more than 3 hours, actually, because I left at like 6:50. So, damn, yeah. Still, though, it's the cheapest place in town, and they still do fantastic work. I mean, they did this guy here on my arm. They also did my dog's paw print here. My other shoulder here, though, that was done in Sweden. Which was even fucking cheaper. That cost like $20, which is, I mean, this cost I think $100. This one was $80. This cost like $20, which is crazy. This is definitely more detailed than the other two, and it definitely took more ink. It took longer. I mean, this one might have taken longer because there's it extends all the way to, all the way from there to there. So that, because he had to work all the way around my arm, it might have taken about the same time, maybe. But this one was definitely more detailed, and he had to draw the thing first because I didn't have a picture of it. We just came in with this was the knot that we came in with, and basically said, do this. and he drew it, and it was perfect. And he did it in like 30 minutes and said $20. And so this was when I was 18. So my dad took me there to do it as a birthday gift for my 18th birthday because he has one too. And so basically because he was like fucking $20 basically, he's like, here, have another 20, because that was awesome. Which it's completely fair. I would have paid $100 for this. Yeah, and which is what I expect I would have paid here. I probably would have paid $120 or something for it. Although the place I go to here now, I suspect it'd be $100. But if I went anywhere else in town, it'd probably be $120 to $200. That wouldn't shock me at all. Actually. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this to be done. I've been waiting for this tattoo for quite a while. I've had it finished. I've had the drawing finished and waiting for 3 months now. But I've had the plan for like 2 years, 2 to 3. it took a little time to develop. It started off with kind of just anchor and moose. Um, Birds came in. The Odin's ravens came in at some point. I don't remember when exactly, but it was definitely over a year ago that I had the idea to add it to the design. But and then I spent some time trying to make it myself after I'd thought up how I wanted it to look, sort of. With the moose, an anchor dangling below it, and birds flying overhead. That took a minute to come up with. I knew I wanted the my first thought was kind of having an anchor come out of the moose somehow. Like, I don't know, make the moose's head look like an anchor, if that makes sense. That was one of my first ideas, but then I was like, nah, why don't I just do both? Why don't I just have the moose on its side, like covering my whole shoulder? And I was like, damn, then I'll have the birds flying over it. That'd be cool. um, it didn't go exactly like that, but yeah, I spent some time trying to make it myself. I can't draw for shit, so I couldn't draw it. I resorted to finding some, line art, sort of like that of anchor, moose, and raven, sort of like that, I guess. And photoshopping myself a little something, couldn't come up with much there either. I think I can show you guys what I have, because I do think I have that saved on my computer here. It's just a few. I should have that somewhere. Yeah, there. So yeah, basically, I just threw this together as a, and this is kind of also what I used as reference. What? This is also what I used as a Yeah, it's also what I used as a reference for my artist when it came to that. Okay, that doesn't. Can I open it in Photoshop then? So yeah, no, but I did this, what I'm about to show you, and I couldn't really get anywhere with it past this. So, what the fuck? Why? Okay. Excuse me a moment. What if we do this? Oh. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to show you the. Okay. What if we just do this image? There it is. There we go. This is the picture that I made, or I put together. I just found these three online and gave the idea. I also gave this to AI to try to do. Bunch of different attempts and different explanations to the machines, different AI machines as well. Could not come up with anything close to even what I wanted. Simply didn't exist. Meaning that the kind of design that I wanted just didn't exist in the world. At least not on the internet. And I was fucking. I went to my friends. I initially went to my friends to do this for me, but then I was like, I can do that myself in Photoshop. This was just take some lines. I think I can show that as well. Um, let's see. I should have a picture of that somewhere. There it is. Yeah. See, I just this for this. I could just make this and have them tattoo that on my arm, right? I didn't need someone to draw this for me. Um, but for this one, I was gonna ask some friends to do it, uh, but they couldn't. They wouldn't even do this, so uh, that turned out to be a no as well. So I resorted to finding some artists, or I tried finding an artist to draw it. I went to 3 different tattoo designing services, websites, I guess. One was just, well, no, I found an app that where you can hire freelance artists. That was the most useful one. I found a website that did custom tattoo drawings. You just tell them what you want, and they provided the detailed moose that I have tattooed. Uh, and then I went to another website called Design Crowd that gave me just bullshit basically because the artists there, 2 of them both tried submitting AI to me. Like they just basically put the same prompt that I gave them into a generator, which mind you, I'd already tried several times with several different generators and couldn't come up with shit. And that's also how I could tell that that's what they did because everything looked very similar to the stuff that I'd gotten back before. So I had to cancel that one. Unfortunately, the artist still got half the payments because they claimed to have put in hours of work on their drawings, and because I took too long to cancel, they got half the money at least. And the artist was so pissed I canceled too. I saw their mad rambling complaints. The thread between our messages is me and him basically is also where the cancellation notice went for him. So he assumed that I basically just disconnected and he was just talking to the website. No, I could still see everything. So he went, "What? Canceled?" Blah fucking bullshit. Long paragraphs complaining about how much work he put in, how much time he spent on this, the fact that I didn't have a deadline, and so I shouldn't have canceled if it was taking too long. Other bunch of shit. I mean, that's what I told them. When I canceled the website, support asked me why. They wanted reasons, and I was like, well, because I asked this artist and 2 others on the same day. The other 2 have been done for a week, and this guy still hasn't submitted a fucking draft of original artwork, just AI shit still. Bad AI shit, mind you. I know there's some AI in this, but they still captured the essence of what I wanted. The other shit you couldn't see it. And this was AI along with actual artwork. They basically used AI to produce the different things, kind of like the moose and ravens I showed you. Basically, AI made those things, and then they warped it into what I have now. But yeah, this guy was just submitting the plain artwork, the plain AI work, and so I went to cancel, and I said, these other 2 artists have already submitted complete work a week ago, and one of them has now combined those 2 for me and given me the ultimate, which is what Freelancer did. The artist I found there took the work that she made for me and then the work from the tattoo drawers and combined them into one because I liked both of their designs. and I wanted they both had a great the tattoo artist, they had real detailed birds, and they had the birds and the moose were more realistic and detailed, but the other had better the chains and the anchor hanging, better anchor design, better chain design all around. So I was like, can you combine these two for me? And so I'd basically already gotten that, and it was I'd been they did it a week faster, and I told all of them I didn't have a deadline because I didn't. But because these other two had already come up with a perfect product for me, and I was still waiting for this last fucker, I'm like, why do I need this? You're not gonna give me what you're gonna give me is not gonna be worth it at this point because I've already got what I want now. And so they asked if I could give him a little more time, but I'm like, no, he's tried submitting AI work, and he's taking a lot longer than he needs to. So yeah, considering that I've already have it done, and two other artists have already finished, and he's just submitting AI, I don't want to wait anymore. I just want my money back. I felt that was pretty reasonable, but I still had to pay half. Sorry, one moment, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Uh, yeah. I canceled that one, still had to pay half, though. Eh. I don't think it. I don't even remember how much it cost right now, but the other two were cheaper also. They did it for they did their work for less, and they did it quicker, and they did it better. So I don't yeah, I was like, why the fuck am I wasting my time on this guy? Give me my money back. And they understood that, but I still had to pay half because they couldn't prove that he had not worked on it. So yeah, he'd submitted drafts that he'd submitted stuff. Obviously, they were all the AI shit that he submitted. They couldn't prove that it was that he hadn't actually done it. And even that is work in itself. Going through the AI machine and doing something is he's at least put something into it, right? So that counts to them. Unfortunately, yeah. And I do think this will be my last tattoo. Uh, I kept I'm keeping my options open for my back. I'd be okay with getting one more there, but I don't have anything in mind at the moment at all. So I mean I've had ideas, but none of I've decided against getting them tattooed because they just don't mean that much to me. Um so so yeah, I don't think I'll get any more, but I will say that if I were to get another one, it would probably be on my back somewhere. And I know this one's going on my back, but when I say I'm talking like center. This obviously be more on the side here, while otherwise it'd be more central. And that is something I'd keep open as an option, but at the moment there's still not shit for me that I need to have there. Um, Not that tattoos are necessary, but I like them. One thing I'm certainly not going to be doing this episode is playing Five Nights at Freddy's again. Uh, I don't want my heart to race tonight. uh, I'm getting the tattoo tomorrow, and I don't know. That that shouldn't have anything to do with it. I know, but for some reason, both this week and last week, I felt the need to like take it easy the day before. So I skipped the gym today, and I skipped the gym on Thursday last week, the day before I got the tattoo. Uh, so yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I need to. I can't explain it. It could also just be that I'm making that excuse up for myself because I want to skip leg day. But I'm going to say no. I just feel like I need to take it easy because I'm getting a tattoo. And I'm certainly not going to the gym tomorrow because it falls right into the time when I would go and when I could go. So I will not even really have time. I would have time afterward, but I'm certainly not going to feel like doing it after having that done. I'm not going to want to go to the gym with fresh ink in my shoulder. And besides, if I were to do legs, almost, yeah, I'd be rubbing against I something would be rubbing against it roughly, no matter what muscle group I were to work on. I feel like, at least with the kinds of exercises that I do and like to do, I would have to change it up pretty harshly, do things I hate in order to keep it, undisturbed. I'd rather not. I'd just take a day off or two. I was supposed to go snowboarding this Saturday as well, but both my buddies that I would go with canceled, so I either go alone or I don't go at all. And currently I'm contemplating whether I should go alone or not. I haven't gone this year yet, and I haven't really tried out my new step-on bindings either that I got on my birthday last year, or well, earlier this year in April. I got to try them one half day. It was a half day because the snow was just ice basically, and I said, "Fuck this! This isn't a valid test of these bindings." It was April. Snow is melting. It's season's over essentially. So that's why I didn't have a chance this year. Now I will have them the whole season, and they'll get a fair test. And I have high expectations. Not. Oh. I do actually have someone else I could go with. But I'll probably just be meeting him up there in that case. We'll see. Anyways, but another friend had actually told me about the step-on bindings and had, vouched for them, said that they're a game changer. And so that's why I'm expecting that. Sorry. Yeah, so I expect them to be great. It did feel pretty awesome not having to worry about strapping myself down the last day I was up there, but like I said, it was a very quick day, not very many runs and not very fun runs either, so that aspect was kind of lost a little bit because everything else was so shit that the good didn't matter. So, and we haven't had a whole lot of snow up there this season yet either. Here in the Central Valley of Cali, it's not rained. It rained it rained a little bit a few weeks ago, or it rained down pretty hard one day, and it's It's been windy. Um, but no snow has gone up to the mountains there, and so yeah, it might not even be that great conditions yet. Anyways, I know that they've been making some, and they have like 3 feet total. Uh, but I think a large portion of that is the snow that they made and not what's fallen. So I don't know. Shit might suck still up there, but I won't know until I see. So I might as well just go do it on Saturday anyway, just to see. I have a pass, so all I'd be paying for is driving. Uh, mm, yeah, I might do it. Might not. Yeah, I don't know. I know it because my tattoo is still gonna feel pretty fresh on Saturday. It'll hurt to fall on it, and it is gonna be on my back, so that could be a little bit of a scrape. Especially if the snow's hard, that'll be even more of a scrape. Uh, hmm. Yeah, not currently not perfect conditions for me to go, but fuck, I want to. I don't want to go alone. Not yet. I want my first session of the season to be a fun one with a friend or two. I'll definitely go alone at some point because I found last year was my first time ever going up alone completely and just spending the day up there by myself, and I did it quite a few times because I found that I loved it. It was a great way to just clear my head, honestly. When I had other stressors going on, it was great to just go up there and not worry about shit, just have fun. Um, but I don't want to do that for my first time. I want to kick it off properly, you know? What the fuck? What am I hearing? I'm hearing some fucking noise. Hold on. It stopped. What the hell? That was weird. Okay. There was some. It could have been one of Chibs's toys, but there was a slight just vibration. It was like a. I mean, it was like something was vibrating and just like tapping it, just quickly tapping against something lightly, very fast. And I have this little ball that kind of shakes. Um, so I think it could be that, but it sounded like it came from like right under my bed, and I remember the ball being like way over there. Although it does. No, I think Chibs is playing with it. It's very faint though, and I can't see him. It's dark in here, but there's also a whole lot of shit in the way, so I think he's just on the floor back there, playing with it. Huh. Mm. But I know I'm jumping around a lot, but back to the tattoo. Uh, the reason I waited so long after even having it drawn, for several months, even I was waiting so long because I had to gain weight for it. Uh, at least that's what I felt. I was, like 140, maybe even as low as 130 pounds, and now I'm at 160 to 170, somewhere in there. I haven't weighed myself in a few weeks. Um, And that was basically just so I can get this tattoo. I didn't think it would fit. I didn't even think it would fit now, but I went there to see, and he said, "Yeah, it'll fit." So decided to go for it. Um, but yeah, it was basically, yeah. I got it ready, and I was like, "This isn't gonna fit me. It's gonna be too big." And it's gonna like the moose will be like on my chest a little bit, maybe even on my back, and the fucking birds will have to go up on my neck and shit. Well, no, maybe not that, but the moose would have to fucking wrap, like really wrap around my shoulder. Um, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to sit on my shoulder fully. It is kind of wrapped around all the way to the front, kind of here, but otherwise, I think it would have to come onto my chest, as skinny as I was before. Um, and it was also to make it hurt less, but that did not end up being the case. I thought having more meat or well more muscle on me would make it uh, hurt less, but nah, because apparently my skin is just so bad for tattoos that it didn't. It felt exactly the same as the others. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because when he started, I could have honestly fallen asleep. But it was when he had to trace over the same areas over and over again to really make sure the ink sunk in. That's when it hurt. Uh, because yeah, no, when he was just starting on the base of my shoulder, I could barely feel it. But uh, because he had to keep digging and digging to get the ink in there, it started hurting. So I think no matter what I do, tattoos for me are just gonna suck because my skin's that shitty for it. Although they sit nicely and they last for me, I guess, because this almost 5 years old and sold up pretty good, I think. Uh, yeah, might have lost a little bit of the rope fading. I still, yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna find the picture of the day I took it because I think you could actually see it. It looked a little bit more ropey back then. As in, you can really like, because I think he really detailed all the individual like threads in the rope, which you can't see now. Um, so maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just faded. Uh yeah, he did kind of do some rope lines on there. They kind of just faded into nothing a little bit. Yeah, you can still kind of tell though from afar. Uh Definitely darker in that picture though. I mean, it's fresh, so of course it was darker. But what is crazy is I was also much skinnier then, and it looks a lot bigger on my shoulder than it does now. Now it's a little bit smaller. It looks a little small on my shoulder in comparison. Hmm. I also had shorter hair then, and no beard. Yeah, I'm not gonna show the picture here, but anyways, let's see, going for about an hour. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do think this will be my last one though. At least for quite a while. I've gotten two this year, and I got this one last year, so it'll be. I've gone on a little bit of a tattoo spree, at least for me. Uh, so this one will conclude it for the foreseeable future. Um, but I've heard, the more tattoos they get, the more you want them. Because it is a little addictive. It's weird. Um, Once you have one, you kind of want more. The paint, the it's rewarding in a way because you go through the pain of having it cut into you, but then you end up with the result of having artwork on you, and you're like, yeah, I went through that, and now I have this on me. So it's a I guess that's what makes it addicting, and it is. I can't say I'm completely against getting more, but at the moment I just have no ideas in mind, and nothing is important enough for me to get it tattooed on me. Besides what I already have, I could. My mom had the idea of getting the logo tattooed on me, but she doesn't know that the logo. You can't. Yeah, you can't really see it in the picture, but it's this. Um, my mom suggested. I said because I told her that I'm for sure not getting that tattooed on me because why? And she's like, why not? Um, you know, and but that's because she doesn't know that the logo design was uh, made from this tattoo. The tattoo came first, actually, the picture of it did. Um, Obviously, I don't have the whole thing on me yet, but I have this whole thing here. So this got made and finished first completely, but this drawing was done, and that's where I had the idea for the logo to begin with. I wanted a logo to be based on my tattoo, and the same artist that drew it came up with this for me. So and that's why I also won't want it tattooed on me because it basically already is in a different way. Chibs. Yeah, he loves scratching my fucking blinds. Anyways, so yeah, this that's why I wouldn't tattoo my logo onto me. Um, Although I'm not completely against it, if this podcast or my other channel that I don't really post on, if either one were to take off and or earn me something, then maybe. But as of right now, with approximately 0 to 5 viewers per episode, no, not doing it. This is not worth that much yet, or if ever. Uh, I'll be. Give me a quick second. I need to grab my water. Almost just gave my bottle its second dent. Slammed it into my hamper, which is a metal rolling one. So I banged it in there, but I didn't dent it. Has a dent already, but that was there. Okay. Let's see. I do kind of feel like playing a game, but I don't know. What have we got? Hmm. What I'm gonna do? No. Nah, we're not gonna play a game. This is not what this channel is. I did it once. Might happen again, but it's not a formula that I'm gonna stick to. So yeah, we're gonna skip past that. Um. Hmm. If you guys have any suggestions for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. Anything you'd want me to talk about, anything you want to get my perspective on, anything like that. Uh, I check all my videos for comments because there are none. But yeah, if there's anything that would be interesting for me to talk about, or that anyone would be interested in hearing me talk about, I'd be glad to do it. Just let me know. And I will on the next episode, along with showcasing the tattoo once it's done, and it will. I mean, I'm fucking hoping it'll be done by Saturday. I should not need a third session, but you never know, I guess. So that's on Sunday. You guys will see my tattoo. Um, and anything else that you let me know that you want me to talk about, I will. Uh, until then. Uh, until then, yeah. So, basically, now, right after this is when I'll be getting my tattoo. Basically, so as you're finishing this up, uh, I will most likely be heading in to get it. So yeah, wish me luck, and I'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Thank you for watching.